Well, by now you know the opening ceremony for the Olympics. They were trying desperately to mock Christianity, and I would like to cool the temperature. I would like to show you the truth of the matter, and hopefully, you'll be able to see the truth in this. Now, let me say something right off the bat. It's not like Jesus said, well, if you profess a belief in me, Jesus, they're going to love you. Oh my goodness gracious. They're going to bring you gifts and they're going to shower you with hugs and kisses and they're going to bake bread for you and they're going to get out of your way when you come into their stores and they're just going to love you so much. Well, he did not say that. He said the exact opposite. He said, in fact, if they're doing this to me, who didn't do anything wrong, what in the world you think they're going to do to you? This is what they do. This is who they are. So the shock and awe from people, particularly politicians, is kind of like, slow your roll. So I just want to show you something, okay, that will actually perhaps make you chuckle at their attempt at mocking Christianity. I understand they were actually trying to mock Christianity, but I want to show you how, because I guarantee you, people who, I went to Bible college, so I kind of see it for what it is. Most people haven't. The vast majority of people haven't. And so hopefully this sheds some light on this for you, okay? From Fox News, U.S. and world leaders denounce Paris Olympics opening ceremonies mocking of Last Supper. Okay. Several U.S. and world lawmakers are denouncing the 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony after drag queens and artists made a spectacle of Leonardo da Vinci painting The Last Supper, which depicts the last meal Jesus had with his apostles. So I want to point your attention to something. This is Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper. It's not a actual picture of the Last Supper. It's Leonardo da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, Leonardo da Vinci is not a contemporary of Jesus or Paul. Okay? So I want to show you the truth of this. And hopefully this will really enlighten you. And so I let me tell you, one thing, my pastor said, and this is, decades ago, he said, when his kids were younger, they got into a heated argument and I believe it was their oldest, said that they were so mad at the mom, the pastor's wife, that they wrote a note and they said, Mom, you're stupid, in the note. Of course, she looks at the note and the word stupid is spelled wrong. It was so, humorous to her. She saved it. She said, okay, I'm from years from now, I'm going to use this. Okay. They tried to, insult mom, but they couldn't even spell stupid wrong. Right. Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay. From Grace Church, the Last Supper painting seating arrangement is all wrong. One of the most famous paintings in the world is Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. Jesus is seated on the middle of the table with 6 guests on each side of him. Unfortunately, the seating arrangement in the painting is almost certainly wrong. Is Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper painting historically and biblically accurate? Da Vinci lived 1500 years after Jesus, not his contemporary. And his painting, which is certainly iconic and beautiful, no one debates that. It's a beautiful painting. It's a wonderful painting. Is not biblically or historically accurate in the way it portrays the supper. In fact, when we read scripture through the lens of the traditional triclinium seating arrangement, some interesting insights begin to pop off the page. We see a profound picture of the depth of Jesus's love and his empowerment of his disciples. The word triclinium essentially means 3 couches. The guest would lay on their left side with their head toward the table and their feet facing outward away from the table, leaving their right hand free to eat the meal. This was common custom in the Roman world of the time. So what you probably would have seen was something that looks more like this. The Last Supper doesn't look anything remotely like Leonardo da Vinci's picture. And what I'm trying to get you to see is that was his culture. He was seeing the Last Supper through his own culture, which most people do. Have you seen the picture of Jesus? You know, he's got his hands and he's praying and he's looking up at God, you know, but he looks like he's from, you know, Sweden. They're seeing Jesus through the lens of their own culture. Everyone does that. Everyone has done that. And Leonardo saw it through the lens of his own culture, of his own time. It's completely biblically and historically inaccurate. The Last Supper probably looked more like what you see on the screen here. It's kind of like what I just told you. You know, when the pastor's kid writes him a note and says, "Hey, I think you're stupid," and they can't even spell stupid right. It's kind of like, in some ways, it's endearing. It's like, you're so ignorant, you don't even know that you spelled this wrong. They're so ignorant and immersed in Western civilization and Western culture, they don't even know that the way they depicted the Last Supper is historically and biblically wrong. They don't have a clue. They actually think they're right. So when I saw it, I'm like, the first, once again, see, I went to Bible college, okay? Most people don't go to Bible college. So if you did, you kind of could see through it. Or if you go to an astute, pastor who teaches you real stuff, then you know that's not what it looked like. It looked like what you see on the picture here. Okay? So that's first. Now, does that mean that they're not mocking you? No, yes, they are trying to mock you. They are mocking Christianity. Absolutely. Okay? But let me show you something here. This is from Matthew. Now, when evening was come, Jesus sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, "Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me." And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, "Lord, is it me? Is it I?" And he answered and said, "He that dips his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. And the Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto the man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born." Just pay attention here. Oh, sorry. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said. Now, stop. Think. All the other disciples says, Lord, is it me? Is it me? Is it me? But Judas, the person that's actually going to betray him, clearly, he didn't say anything. But then he says, Is it I? And Jesus says, Thou hast said. Like, I know it's you and you know it's you. But now at that, you would think the disciples would go nuts. Hey, this guy is going to try to betray our master. Why didn't they go nuts? Well, because of the seating arrangement. They didn't hear it. As they're speaking and talking to one another, one, back is to this person, that back is to that person, they didn't even hear it. That's why he said, privately, Jesus, is it me? And he says, and as they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, Take, eat, this is my body, and take the cup, and gave thanks and gave it unto them, saying, Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. You would think that the disciples would have went nuts once that happened. They didn't. Why? They didn't hear it. Because of the seating arrangements and how they were doing it. The thought that somehow, some way, Leonardo da Vinci's depiction of the Last Supper is accurate it's ludicrous. It's not. It's not even close. It has nothing to do with the actual culture of, biblical accuracy. It has everything to do with Leonardo's culture. I say all that to say this. Of course, they are going to mock Christianity. And yes, that's what they were trying to do. But in some ways, they just called you stupid, and they couldn't even spell the word stupid right. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Things are going to get worse for Christians. None of this should surprise anyone. It's just what I'm offended are all of the politicians that feign shock as they send billions of our dollars overseas. They feign shock as they oust you out of your living arrangements and schools and give it to illegals. They feign shock and awe. And that's what bugs me. That's what gets to me. Them thinking that that somehow they're actually, they're mocking Christianity, Stu. Well, they're trying. They'll take a shot at it, but they're not. All right. Hopefully this sheds some light on this for you, and maybe this will, you can calm down a bit. All right. But of course, the left hates you. They hate anyone that imposes standards. It's only going to get worse. All right, that's it for now. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.